Hi guys, welcome to Investing with GYK, and today it's gonna be a super quick video on essentially debts and currencies regarding Brazil. So Sven Carlin over at Sven Carlin's channel has brought up the investing potentially an opportunity in around Brazil. So I think that's Brazil. No. Brazil ETF. It was like EWZ is Brazil, I think. Yeah. If you look at it, it's gone through pretty big shit. 46 down to about 30. So with that tumble, a lot of things now became cheap. If you look at these two, I had both of these previously when he alerted us that this is a good buy. So I bought those. I sold, I think, somewhere late last year. For this guy, I basically sold here. There was some news that came out that went up like 50% in a day, so I just sold out. So these guys are now, going down. It might go down further. We never know. But that's not the point. The point is, how do we judge the effect of dollar increase on these things? Obviously, there are secondary effects, which is the Brazilian economy, but there's also the primary effect, which we can observe directly, like how bad will they be hit if dollar appreciates, because both these are electricity companies, and by that we know their revenue will be completely in Brazilian reals. So if your liability does not match, why is this thing flickering? If your liability does not match the revenue, it's typically a very big issue. Essentially, what you end up having is liability would potentially go up in value just because currency appreciation or depreciation. So I checked their balance sheet. EBR has a lot of USD loans. And then they also lent out a lot of USD loans. I'm not quite sure who they lent it to, but I'm fairly confident that they probably lent to their subsidiaries, which means their subsidiaries will have a tough time paying these as well, because they basically own a bunch of electricity companies. So they put a scenario out here, the probable scenario, the 25% appreciation scenario, and a 50% appreciation scenario. We're already blown past that. USD to real is 7.7 now, instead of 3.72. So sorry, instead of 3.26, there's 3.77. So it's closer to the 25 than here. So this, we might just hit here. We don't know. And if we hit here, according to their calculation, they will lose about, this number is clearly wrong. They're missing a zero. This is stupid. 169, but that should be million, because otherwise the numbers make no sense. But the other thing is, this probably won't, because this thing would add a lot of pressure on their subsidiaries. This gain here probably won't materialize as much. So I'm thinking quite a bit more than that. Maybe you might get a quarter of this not realizing, so plus 400. So you're looking at half a billion. Right, so what is half a billion? If we look at total sales revenue, yeah. Sales revenue, cool. Here. Their operating income in 2017 is negative 1 billion. So this might add quite a bit more to the loss. And the other thing that you may need to pay attention to is here it says it lost 1.7 billion reals, but in here it says the EPS is positive. So always watch that. A lot of these numbers are incorrect. Okay, so that's EBR. But in terms of ELP, the Copel, they actually have much less foreign debt. So if you look at here, unfortunately they don't have an English version. But if you look at 23, nope, that's wrong. Here, 23 here, the financings. So essentially their total foreign currency is only, this is 90 million. Instead, their domestic borrowing is at 3.5 billion. So basically this is a drop in the bucket, right? So even if something happens, they end up paying a little bit more on it, this is not going to affect their earnings materially. This is what, a 1/40th, right? 2%. We don't care. So obviously their earning will get impacted, their revenue will get impacted because they can't sell electricity as expensively. So that's the secondary effect of dollar appreciating. Their balance sheet won't deteriorate nearly as much as EBR. So EBR at the moment seems like a very, very dangerous bet. I would not touch it yet. Yeah, but ELP maybe. I mean, it's almost as cheap as 2000 and end of 2016. Almost. It's only 20% off, 30% off, 30% off, 30% higher than the bottom of the commodity bear market. So yeah, so hopefully this is useful in terms of understanding how dollar appreciation can have certain effects on companies' balance sheets. And I talked about South Africa as well, because basically that's a country with external debt and not much external income, and these are companies with external debt and zero external income. So there you go. All right, see you next time.